See where we at. Make sure I'm staying on pace with the information required. No, the transgender men, they're gonna start trying to put the uterus in them. That is the same as when they say they cut off Medusa's head. They don't really cut the head off of her. They replace her with somebody that's not her. Historically, it carries on as her head was severed from her body. But the reality of it is she was replaced. That's what that means. She was replaced. Now, is there any way to verify that she was replaced? Yeah. If you go in Greece, Helen was a woman. But when you get to Rome, Helen became a man. Her head was severed. It's the same symbolism that they use when they destroy the icons on the earth as they destroy the women of the earth. So it's the same symbolism. The symbolism hasn't changed in all these years. Cut off your nose to spite your face. You know. So when you realize that aspect, when they start to try to replace or take the uterus from women and put them in transgenders, that's going to cause an effect. A bad effect. I'm telling you now, that's not going to be good. Because the queen already, we've been suffering, talking about African Americans, Negroes, colored folks, whatever you want to call yourself, been suffering because it was a group of women that wasn't allowed to be mothers, have husbands, or live a married life, or live a life having somebody that would look out for their interests the same as the earthborn women who was from here. That pissed her off enough to let these motherfuckers hold their foot on our neck this amount of time. This her shit. This her shit. And so, if she let them hold... Now look, they could have been doing this for 2,000 years, but it's only been a little over 400. Why? Why haven't it been 2,000 years of this shit? Because the people that is being redeemed was under this shit for a couple thousand years. With no rights. When you crying about civil rights and shit, these motherfuckers didn't have a right to say shit. The grievances is in the text. It's not a secret. They all know what it is. So when you deprive those women like that, then imagine how she gonna react when they start putting a uterus in a man. Because that's what the war in heaven was about. A man cannot produce a child without the agency of a woman. And a woman can produce a child without the agency of a man. Parthogenesis. It's a word in the language for a reason. Why? And so now, as they continue to send us messages by the destruction of the icons or the sites, and they told us by the destruction of the sites that they were going to try one more campaign as the Aquarian Age dawned as an attempt to thwart all of the work done by the Christ. They would try to destroy the women once again at the closing of the age as a final attempt to hold on to power. They have to notify us on a large enough scale where we can discover it. And they have to give us a period of time of approximately 5 Earth years, which are a couple of seconds in galactic time. So you call it a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. In the galactic, when they say that, it's like 5, 10, 15. Same amount of time. Now, watch what happens. Around 1991, World Trade Center bombing, basement car bomb, blew up like the World Trade. George Bush issued a speech called the 1,000 Points of Light New World Order speech, where he informed the world that they had laid down this plot to take over, and it was going to be successful. No matter what, nobody could stop it, right? So that's what you call the announcement. That's what you call the first count. The second count is the federal building. 5 years later, 95 was the federal building in Oklahoma City bombing by Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols. Now, Terry Nichols ain't had nothing to do with it. Timothy McVeigh was in a trance and don't even know what the fuck happened. And they killed him anyway. because they didn't want him to talk. They didn't want him to snap out of the Manchurian program and tell y'all what really happened. So they killed him, put him on death. Terry Nichols don't even know shit. He just got caught up in the connection scheme because somebody seen somebody with Timothy McVeigh. They had to put somebody with him. So the Nichols brothers, it was originally two of them that they was trying to charge, but one of them was so far out of position and had such a good alibi, they couldn't even fabricate that case. Right, MK Ultra. So what's the third one? 5 years after that. What was the response, though? The Patriot Act. Right? We ain't going to get too much into the Patriot Act, but the Patriot Act was the response for count 2. Then you had what they call a coup de grace. This is the grand announcement that we moving. We on your ass. 911, motherfucker. 911. We on your ass. Now, I have to be able to show the human connection, real tight connection between those who are involved. I'm going to name 3 people that are seemingly, 2 of them are connected, but one of them seemed to have an entirely different ideology. The first one was George Herbert Walker Bush. The second one was William Jefferson Clinton. And the third one was George Walker Bush. Right? Now, what's the connection in Bill Clinton and the Bushes? Well, all of the politicians in D.C., in Arkansas, in Florida where Jeb at, Texas where George Walker at, all of them called Clinton the old man's adopted son. George Herbert Walker Bush is the one who introduced Hillary Clinton, who was a Republican at the time, to a young Democrat that he thought was very charismatic named William Jefferson Clinton while they were in college. And they both were tutored, trained by Herbert Walker Bush. Now, this is them telling you they finna take the world over and they finna launch a new rape campaign and a new campaign against the children. That's what those 3 events were. Now, is there any other way that we can tie these people to the takeover attempt? Yes. You can tie George Herbert Walker Bush to an oil company that was present at the assassination of John F. Kennedy. What does John F. Kennedy have to do with it? John F. Kennedy was the one who warned us. He gave 2 speeches, Separation in Church and State, warned us about the Jesuits, Francis and them. John Kennedy gave that speech. Also, he gave another one called Address to the Press Club of America, where he told you we was under attack by a megalithic, or was it monolithic, whatever it is, conspiracy around the world. And he told you it was economic, social, political, scientific, and religious. So they had to get rid of him. So they had to kill John. But first they had to desecrate him and turn him into a womanizer because it'll make the women support his destruction better. And then they will be able to more easily get away with it. You see, when the women love the leader, even if he's a foul piece of shit, he's untouchable. But as soon as he loses the favor of the women, the men will no longer accept him. So when they make the moves on the earth to destroy sacred sites, those are identifiers of an attack plan that has developed and been unleashed on women. It's rare that they destroy a sacred site because it's rare that they can come up with a new way to oppress the women. They done did it so long, they so good at it. So I'm looking through the comments in case I got any question. Oh, you're absolutely right about Joshua Keefe. You're absolutely right what you said. The Saturn spilling his gut, Saturn eating his own children in the C-section. Yes, you're right. All of that is related. But there's another reason for C-sections too. In the imposter women, the reptile women, they got what you call closed hips. Okay. Yep, the rise of the sisterhood, Chanel, you on that? Yes, the men have to protect the women. Our job as men on earth is to, even if the woman don't want it, she don't have to know we doing it. Our number one job is to protect the women and to provide sustenance and support for the women. Okay, so I don't have no questions I need to. Yes. Yes, that's what I was just talking about, Jack the Ripper and them trying to stop these women from hiding. Anytime they see a good sisterhood forming, they attack it. Now, they got 4 sisters up in D.C. now. And they from different walks of life, but one thing about them is they don't buy the bullshit. Okay? You said that, but did you do what you said you was going to do? You accountable for what you said you was going to do. That make them become bad women in the press. That make it become bad women in the press. Now, those 4 women are not regular. I got to point that out to y'all women. They here for y'all. They ain't here for them male gender. They specifically here for you. They don't call them the 4 horses of the apocalypse haphazardly. They saying that for a reason. These women are here to fight for women to reclaim their positions. Those 4 women, y'all women need to go on a social media campaign and a letter writing campaign and start letting them know hands the fuck off the 4 horsemen. Hands the fuck off. Every woman need to write. Every time you hear one of them dudes or get on there and start trying to cut them down, make it where they start trying to put other women up to degrade them. Then they're going to weed out the imposters in front of your face. Make it where it's so politically incorrect for a man to even say one thing wrong about and one of them 4 women. And they're going to make all of the imposter bitches come out of the closet. Then y'all going to know the enemy amongst you. Then you're going to get to see them show their colors. Make it where it's unhealthy for a man to say something about any one of them 4 women. Every fucking time they open their mouth and a man say something about it, blow his ass out the water on social media or letter writing campaigns and phone calls to the news media. Put their ass on blast. Make it where the only thing they can do if they want to attack those women is put a woman up to it. Then it's going to start making the imposters show they self and show their hand. Yes. Yes, Iman Bey. Y'all, you know how we used to have church revivals in the basement at home? Y'all need to have sisterhood revivals in the basement at home. And anybody that want to lead one, we can do a module so you'll know what part of the womanly studies you need to present at what time in order to be on pace. But y'all really, once y'all get together and y'all understand how the energy flow, y'all don't need no man to tell y'all. She's going to tell you herself what to do. But y'all just got to lock into her. I'm going to give y'all references where y'all can understand how the mechanism works. You understand the process, you can use it. If you don't know how an engine works, you can't repair it. But once you understand how it works, you can fix the engine. Yeah, any woman. The white man don't like the white woman because she had the right to a sin before him. He didn't have a right to a sin. The white woman got the right first because she was able to have her life portal turned on by the Queen of Heaven and Earth. And that's what really pissed him off to launch the campaign of rape in Rome. That's what really set him off because now they really hate the women. It's 4 of them dying. 4 women up there on Capitol Hill. It ain't no secret. Look on my page. It ain't no secret. And Manny, if you put your group together, I'll give you a brief outline of the 3 most important things, and I'll give you some study material. But the women need to be whispering behind the men back that them 4 women on Capitol Hill, they keep attacking. They're not attacking them because they done anything wrong. They attacking them only because they trying to do something right. Now,
it's the entertainment the same as you do the economics. It's basic military strategy 101. The more aspects of the enemy's life you control, the more of the enemy you control. Therefore, he's no longer your enemy. He's your subject now.
Can I interject this too?
Mm-hmm.
When they see us getting to a certain level in the music and they see how it reacts to us, like for instance, this whole thing that you've been coming out with, telling us to reclaim our identity, and when we reclaim our identity, the land comes with it and all that. It's just as easy as and everybody's making it seem hard because everybody's divided in their own thing. Realize that if we just go ahead and get together and say reclaim our identity, we can and reclaim the land. We can iron all of the division stuff out later. You know, once we evict these people, these Enlil's children and their little people that see Enlil's children as their overlords. But what Enlil's children have seen with our development, just talk about the music, they seen us get on certain levels with the music. Like for instance, if we're in a group, just in a big hall, we waiting around, and somebody throw on a James Brown record, everybody's going to come together on the one. They're going to come together on the one. All the organic people.
It's yo, hit me on the one.
And the same thing, if they put on Bob Marley,
yeah,
they're going to come together on the one. So you see, that is how easy it is for us to reclaim our identity. If we come together on the one without thinking about all these division things and all of these things that we're going to implement, we can get that later. But getting back to the music, I have seen where the music was going on when it was getting so advanced. Certain artists, like you said, Scott Joplin or John Coltrane or Diz or Duke Ellington, and the music was affecting us in such a way we were elevating and raising, right? And when they seen that, that's when they would go ahead and put their labels on it, just like saying Lucifer is evil, or like saying the Ankh is evil sign, or the eyes are all seeing eye. They take everything that is good and they make it look evil, and everything that is bad they make it look good. Evil.
So whose strategy is it? So when you put the strategy to the strategist, it's a military strategy. Exactly what you said, and it's also codified in the written record of the earth. It's in the Quran. So if they want to make evil fair seeming, whose job it is to make evil fair seeming is whose text it'll be in. In this case, it's Ninursin. Because Ninursin is Allah who overthrew Allah, the brother who overthrew the sister of the moon. They talking moon magic. This takes us back to what Young Yoda was talking about with the blood and the vampires earlier. The moon magic of Ninursin is the Babylonian systems of magic that stems from the Kabbalistic tree. For every one of the sufferers of the Kabbalistic tree is a realm of your life that a magic conjure can control if they tie you into a psychic form, a thought form, an egregore. So they created the egregore Allah to tie you into that thought form so that they can control your output.
Exactly. Labels.
Right. But the reason why you need to know what Ninursin is the one who's telling you he gonna make evil fair seeming. Right? This is what his edict is. That's his strategy. Make evil look like it's the right thing to do. Right? So now we believe we get in the story that all of the shit that's gonna really empower us is evil.
Right.
That go right back to what you was just saying. It's an all well orchestrated plan.
Mm-hmm. Every time you get an inkling, it's like if they showed the movie Star Wars or Lost or Star Trek or any of those with a black cast, it would do that in this science fiction because remember that's so they always, that's one way they do it. They'll change the character. Why they change the characters? They're changing the characters because they don't want they don't want to activate your DNA. They don't want you to see that you're Darth Vader and you Luke Skywalker.
Alter egos.
Right. Yeah.
I've been telling everybody that the Joker is Batman. All of the people, the villains in the Batman, are all of the alter egos of the schizophrenic Dick. What's his name? Master Dick. Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is in Arkham Asylum the whole time. That's why it's always dark in Gotham.
Ain't that something?
It's always dark in Gotham. Ain't no sunshine in Gotham because he's in the mental institution going through the dark night of the soul. And all of those villains is the shadow work he's doing to face his alter ego.